Hey guys, we've got everybody on the inside here. I've been trying to add Kevin and Paul. I just messaged you, Kevin, on Facebook to see if you're getting a notification that I'm trying to add you. Yeah, Paul just jumped back on. Guys, I just put a message in the chat, so go over there and respond, but I'm trying to add Paul and Kevin here on the inside, and every time I click the button, Paul, you disappear, then you come back. Kevin, nothing happens when I click you. So. Chris, on the other hand, I've got Chris inside and outside the webinar. Oh, Gurjeet's here. Excellent.
I don't know if my sound is all okay there. I just turned my truck off.
Oh, yeah, much better.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Paul, I know you can see us, but we're trying to bring you on the inside. That's the idea. That's why I wanted everybody to have headphones. Gurjeet, I'm going to add Gurjeet. Gurjeet, you're going to see a message, and you got to follow the instructions.
Hey, Justice, I'm going to be able to hear you, but I just got to put you in my pocket here for now so I can go and get it changed and clocked out of work here. So I'll still keep my ears on here, but you just won't see me for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, you do your thing, man. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Get on.
Hey, I had to do what I had to do, right?
Let's do it. I'm going to mute you out again. Yep. All right. Gurjeet's here. Gurjeet, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Justice.
Excellent. All right. Oh, awesome. What's up, Jonathan? How are you, bud?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Awesome. All right, I'm messaging with Kevin over here. So far, we're just waiting on Kevin and Paul. Paul, I'm messaging you here. All right, I'm going to try add Paul one more time. And then all we're missing is Kevin from the people that are on here. I'll try and add Kevin again. Oh, there we go. I was it at least attempted to add Kevin. Let's see what happens. If we get everybody in here by 9:10, it'll be an accomplishment. Oh, Kevin's here. Jonathan, are you at an event right now, you said?
I just got to my company's conference in Vancouver.
Awesome. Good for you to get into
We
the
just
event.
had
All right, Kevin's on, Christopher's on. So the only person we're missing right now is Paul, and he's probably downloading the plugin, which we'll get him on, and then we'll be good to go. Let's mute out Chris again. Okay, so guys, while we wait on Paul, why don't we get started? I want to welcome everybody. There will be times maybe when there's a little feedback and I mute, one of you out or something like that. This is, like we said, this is a little wonky, but it's a great environment for us to get the Q&As going. Welcome to the workshop. I gave most of you an explanation of what I'm doing here. I'm creating these products, rolling them out, and in the process, you guys are going through them, and I'm working with you hands-on because A, I want feedback on the products. B, I want to help you guys. I want to create some success stories, some people that committed to jumping in on this. Okay, Paul's not getting anything. So Paul, we're going to have to do. You're going to have to communicate through the chat. We'll get your questions answered too. So here's the deal. I would like to keep these Q&A sessions in the 1 hour range. I want to be here for you guys. I mean, obviously the one-on-one stuff is going to be our opportunity to really dive into super specific, questions, but this is another platform for you to get them answered. One thing I want to do tonight is get everybody introduced to each other because we're going to kind of be in this little crew for 4 or 5 weeks. We've got our little Facebook group going, and let's see, where's the noise coming from? We got a little Facebook group going, and that's an opportunity for us to all kind of get to know each other, and we're going to learn from each other. So why don't we go around and quick elevator pitch, 2 minutes, who you are, why you joined the workshop, and the 1 or 2 main things that you represent in business, whether it be your company or system, etc. So Dorico, why don't we start with you, bud? Who you are, where you're from, why you joined the workshop, and what you represent.
Okay, glad to meet everybody. Dorico Cherry from Walkertown, North Carolina. Been in the home-based business industry for about 5+ years. I joined this workshop with Justice just because I want to get results. Tired of spinning wheels, tired of feeling frustrated. And so, I connected with Justice. I like his training, and I just want some different results than what I've been getting up until this point.
Awesome.
So I didn't know, did you want us to say anything about the systems that we're associated with?
What is it that you sell? What is your primary focus?
Oh, primary focus right now is the MLSP. I'm using that as my funded proposal right now. I don't have a primary company at the moment. Still kind of searching things out, but want to build a solid foundation. So when I do actually find my home for network marketing, I'll be ready to hit the ground running.
Awesome. Awesome. Don't everybody see that as an opportunity to prospect Dorico, okay? Michael, why don't you go?
Okay, I'm Mike McDonald. I've been in network marketing for about just a year and a half now. My primary business is health and wellness, and I also am marketing MLSP as well. The reason why I joined this is because I really like Justice's training, and also I know that together we'll be able to take it to the next level just through learning how to do the proper influencing.
Awesome. Awesome. Kevin.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Are you able to hear me?
A little bit.
How about now? Nothing?
A little bit.
All right. Something's the matter with my mic.
That's a little better.
Any better now?
A little bit, yeah, that'll work.
All right. I'll just talk loud. I got interested in this because I met you at a couple events, and I enjoy the September calls that we've been doing, that you've been doing actually. I'm in MLSP. I need to be doing more than I am doing, obviously, but I just wanted to, stick with something, not get sidetracked, and learn from you. And I thought this would be a great place to start. And I market travel as well as MLSP.
So MLSP and World Ventures, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Jonathan. I muted you out, Jonathan, because there was a lot of noise coming, so you're going to have to hover yourself and unmute yourself. There we go. Jonathan, can you hear us, bud? Chris, I'm muting you up. Jonathan, you got to hover your own picture and unmute yourself. Oh, you had it. Oh, I think you're good. Try talking. All right, we're going to skip Jonathan for the moment. Gurjeet, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Excellent. So real quickly, introduce yourself to everybody, where you're from, why you joined the workshop, and what you represent.
I'm Gurjeet Minhas, and I joined because I was really impressed with Justice's workshop that he did on Monday evening. And I thought, well, if there's so much value in this workshop that's for free, so how much more value would there be if you signed up? And I had this feeling that he was the real deal and wasn't just there to give us, a little bit of information and hide the rest. That's the feeling I got. And so I thought, well, I have to join this now. And what am I looking for and what do I represent? I'm a registered nurse. I'm here in Surrey, BC, very close to Vancouver, and work in the hospital and university. And my passion, or what I want to get clients for, which I'm struggling with at the moment, is my prenatal education that's specific and designed by me. So that's what I want to hope to get out into the world, specifically to counteract the rising rate of C-sections, epidural, drugs, etc. That's what I'm about, and I hope to expand this in a big way.
Awesome. I'm super excited to work outside of the home business niche with you because I've got a small business training product coming out as well. Jonathan, you had it for a second. I heard you for a second. Why don't we go to, you look like you're still muted at the moment. You were out here for a second. Why don't we go over to Chris for the moment? Chris, if you want to unmute yourself, or you may be unmuted. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
I can. So
Oh,
real
perfect.
quickly, who you are, why you joined the workshop, and what you represent.
My name's Chris Oliver. I'm from Vancouver, MLSP, as well as a health wellness company that I'm currently trying to grow both local MLSP. I've listened to many of Justice's trainings, and client style is very straight to the point, no BS, and I really enjoy his metaphors and everything that he brings to the table. So, you know, it was a no-brainer for me to get on, no matter what the cost was, because he has what I want in life, and you know, you have to open your eyes and your ears to those who are where you want to go in life.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Jonathan, I'm not sure if you were able to unmute yourself or not. It looks like you're still muted. Let me see if I can unmute you. No, just still muted. If you get that figured out, we'd love to hear from you. But if you have, oh, he just went off camera-wise. You can, guys, you can use the chat box. We have Paul Schultes in the chat box from Hawaii. Okay, I'm sure you'll get a chance, you know, to meet him as well. So first of all, I mean, this is a question and answer session. Chris, I'm going to mute you out again, okay?
Hurry up.
Oh, there we go. So, you know, this is a question and answer session, so let's start going around and addressing people's questions. Here's what I want you to understand. I want you to understand that Module 1 is all about the foundation of lead generation. It's all about understanding how to position yourself in the marketplace, how to figure out what your message is, how to figure out who your target audience is, okay, how to craft a strong giveaway that really solves their problem. Okay, now as you go through some of that stuff, some of the stuff you're going to go, man, I've heard this before, right? It's interesting because here's what I'm going to tell you, and you guys know I shoot really straight, okay? You've got to get that little voice out of your head, because I put it on Facebook today, actually. I was thinking about this. That, when you think I've heard this before, your brain shuts down. Okay? You stop evaluating what kind of information there is there for you to gather. And the reality is those core principles, exactly what I discussed in there, is at the foundation of strong marketing. And if you don't have the results you want, it's likely it's not some missing puzzle piece or some secret strategy. It's likely that the foundation isn't there. Okay? And the same thing's going to go with the, you know, some of the infrastructure stuff and some of the traffic stuff, right? There's a way that all marketing works. And so that's my spiel going into it. Why don't we just start, you know, with Dorico and see if you have any questions, and then we'll go around and we'll see where things go.
Okay, awesome. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right, awesome. Actually, I went through the courses, and one question that actually stood out to me, or that I asked myself, that you mentioned, I forgot what module it was actually in, but you said that we need to evaluate the needs of our target market.
Yep.
Could you elaborate on that a little more? Like, how do you actually evaluate that? Like, how do you actually go out and find out, like, what the needs of your target market is?
Absolutely. And by the way, guys, there should be a little chat button for you. You may be able to see the chat in here, you may not. But Paul Schultes says, aloha, everyone, from Hawaii. So, who is it that you feel you're marketing to, Dorico?
I think, well, I think I'm gonna have a tendency to move towards the struggling network marketer.
Okay.
You know, someone who's struggling, such as myself, would be, you know, my ideal target market.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, you don't have a primary. You're focusing on MLSP, right? So the struggling network marketer is going to be your deal.
Right.
So Yeah, I mean, the struggling network marketer is your target market. Now, what keeps the struggling network marketer up at night? What keeps them tossing and turning?
Yeah, I would say get more eyeballs on their presentation.
Yep. Okay. So they need prospects, right?
Yep.
They need leads. Okay, so for starters, that is their number one pain.
Right.
Okay, and we need to bring the solution to the table. Now that said, there's a lot of people out there pitching get more leads, right?
Yes.
So how do we stand apart from the market, in the marketplace? It's going to be by what our core messages, what we stand for, who we're fighting for, right? You guys are in this workshop because something I do resonates with you. I'm very straightforward. I'm very passionate, right? I'm very personal responsibility oriented. I try not to sugarcoat anything. Okay, that's the way I am. So I've taken the things that I believe are important. I've taken my personality. I've taken that passion. I've taken that straight shooter, and I've moved it into that space. Okay, do you see how that differentiates me from the noise? Everybody's telling you they can get you more leads, right?
Right.
Okay, so you've got to find that place for you. Okay, you've got to find that next layer. Okay, what differentiates you? What makes Dorico? Who are you fighting for? I love that. Who are you fighting for? See, I'm fighting for people like me that were because I used to be depressed. I used to be lazy. Okay, I used to be unproductive. I was an underachiever. And I didn't take responsibility for anything in my life. That's the person I'm fighting for now. I'm fighting to push that person. That's more than just leads and sales. You get that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Michael, if you have a question, would you like to shoot your first question at me?
I didn't really have any questions, but I really had a few things that kind of helped me out.
Okay.
Especially probably goes back to Rico's question there. Has to do with making your who are your target market. I found that when you got, I can't remember the module, but you're talking about feature and benefits of benefits.
Yeah.
I always thought it was like features and benefits, but when you put it into the benefits of benefits, the capture page that you made really stood out because I did an article on superfoods as a giveaway.
Okay.
But it was just like 10 superfoods to help you with weight loss. Now what you did, so I just gave like the feature and the benefit, right? I don't know if I hit the benefit there, but you did the benefits to benefits, so that made it stand out a lot more. So that's one thing that I took away. It was really good, and yeah, and then people take actions for benefits. The feature will draw them there, but really we don't care about the feature, right? It's like buying a car. You don't care about the whole engine thing. You want to know what will it do for me? I'll make it go fast. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Listen, here's what you guys need to understand about the way people buy. People buy emotionally, and they justify logically. Okay, so they're going to use the features to justify. Okay, Jonathan's just listening now.
Cool.
They're going to use the features to justify. Okay, you ever see an ad where it says like, oh, you're going to get 10,000 whatever, or you're going to get 5,000 pounds of this, right? There's benefit there's something great about people feeling like they're getting a lot of stuff. Okay, that's how they're going to justify the value, but they're going to make decisions based on what it's going to do for them. That's the benefit. And then the benefit of the benefit really starts to hit home with senses. Okay, when you're talking about things, you want to touch people's, their senses. It's experiential. Okay, if you see a great sales presentation, like a great sales video, they may talk about something you might smell. They might talk about touch. They might talk about taste. They might talk about sight, because they're awakening your senses. Okay, you don't realize they're doing it, but they're doing it. Kevin, questions that jump out for you?
I'm just trying to put a offer together right now. So I'm working on my blog at the same time. So when I do have my blog eventually up and going, I'm kind of work right now working on a giveaway. And I wanted to kind of combine. I see a lot of people not personal branding and branding their companies instead. And I kind of went. I mean, originally I wanted to do like a 7 lead generation giveaway, but I see a lot of things where I could parlay into MLSP if I would come up with something that would be like a personal branding product also. Like, I know they're two different things, but my target market is the kind of, home-based business owner struggling and personal branding kind of.
Okay.
So I don't know actually where to go with that, but that's kind of what I wanted to do if I could.
Well, we can work on that, and what you'll notice is even in my stuff that's personally branded, as you go through these modules, you'll notice I talk about MLSP.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Okay, I present MLSP as a solution.
Right.
Chris, I got to mute you out again, bud. When you're on for good, we'll get you unmuted. So I promote MLSP inside these products.
Right. I'm talking about more so the person that's like, on Instagram you see it all the time. Everybody's pitching, this company, that company. Not like an affiliate program like MLSP or something like that. But I'm talking about their specific business kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for personal branding.
Right, yeah.
Okay? Here's the deal. Even if you want to lead with health and wellness, even if you want to lead with travel, even if you want to lead with whatever, be the travel guy.
Right.
Okay, be the health and wellness person. I gave a lot of examples in this training that were specific to that. You can go be the go-to person for health and wellness.
Right.
Okay, you can go be the go-to person for travel. I mean, think about how many people out there have these huge followings just because they travel the world and document it, right? These people that have just like gone off the grid.
Yeah.
But here's what you can't be. You can't be all things. See, people try and be jack of all trades because they're worried about losing a piece of the audience. So over here, it's like learn about my cat food business, and over here, it's like learn about my travel business. It doesn't work like that. Because if you're selling cat food and you're selling travel and you're selling home goods, you're not perceived as focused or an expert on anything. You're immediately the first impression is going to be hobbyist. Well, they just kind of like all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Gurjeet.
Yes, Justin.
Do you have a question that you would like to ask in this session?
Not at the moment. I don't have anything in mind.
Okay. Do you have anything that you would like to identify that maybe was an aha moment for you in the first module or in our coaching call?
Yes, the message part of it, because I think your message is important. If people resonate with that, they are in your camp, and if they don't, they're out.
Yep.
So I think the message is really important.
No doubt about it. Now we have some people watching. We have Jonathan and we have Paul watching. And Chris Oliver's kind of been on and off. So guys, in the chat box, do you have a question? There's going to be a little delay there. So back to Dorico. Dorico, do you have any other questions at the moment based on what you went through?
Not any other questions that jumps right out at me, but I do want to share with just some things. Well, one particular thing that I been getting from the training, from the notes that I've taken from what you had said. But something that really stood out to me was what you said was, if we're not solving problems, then we're convincing. And that's just something that actually just stuck in my head. From the training that you gave away, that I thought was really powerful. So I just thought that was really good.
No doubt about it. Here's the deal, guys. When you're there's a difference between selling and someone buying. Okay, and when you're selling, you're pushing someone into a decision. In other words, they're here. Okay, and you want to put them into this box right here. This is where your product is the answer. Okay, and you can be fancy and you can tell them all about the features and benefits, and you can do all kinds of crazy sales tactics and all this different stuff, and you can push them over into this box. But what happens is they're going to come back to their reality after they purchase. Okay, it's called buyer's remorse. Okay, we've probably heard that term before. So when you become the problem solver and you ask the right questions, then you can get the box, your box, to fit with their problem. Now you're not moving them. They're moving themselves. You guys are coming together naturally, right? So in other words, somebody, and Paul, I saw your question down there, but I'll definitely get to that in just a moment. When somebody, let's say you do health and wellness, and you are going to somebody, you got to look at it, you know, it's so great, you're going to lose weight, you're going to this, you're going to that. Well, but if you haven't identified that losing weight is that person's problem, you're not speaking their language. Okay? Maybe they need money. Now, they want the opportunity. Now, a lot of us go, oh, well, I can show you how to make money, right? And we don't take it any farther than that. Why do they need money? Well, maybe it's because they're you know, convinced they've got to put their kid through private school. Now you're getting to a problem, right? Now your opportunity is a way to help their kid get to private school. Now you think of benefits, right? When you start to get into the more visual, the more emotional stuff, the stuff that really taps into another level of sensory. Okay, so money is a benefit. Your kid going to private school is a benefit of a benefit. Which do you think is a better selling proposition? Which do you think is a better problem to solve? You know? Awesome. What's up? Chris is back on. Got himself muted out this time. Does that make sense to you, Dorico? Anybody, light bulb go off for anybody else?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Awesome. So Paul's question is, he says my main thing is Remarka Mobile. Trying to figure out who my audience is, finding out people are afraid to try something new as far as mobile marketing. Paul, you have a couple of options with Remarka Mobile. On one end, you've got the business opportunity. On the other end, you've got the marketing services for small businesses, etc. Okay, and again, you can't try and pitch to someone who wants BizOp what great mobile marketing stuff there is in there, right? Unless you're positioning it as solving a problem that their BizOp didn't have before, right? Maybe their product didn't sell, maybe they didn't have something up to date, maybe they didn't this. You know, whatever their problem is, now you can fit the fact that yours is different into that, but it's still got to be from a BizOp standpoint if they're looking for BizOp and if that's who you're going after. If you're trying to get in the door of the small businesses, okay, now you're talking about the marketing side of it, right? The features that are geared towards business. But you still have to find the problem of the small business, okay? You have to identify their problem. See, when you tell me that, when I hear I'm finding people are afraid to try something new as mobile marketing, when it comes to mobile marketing, well, that to me sounds like we haven't identified what their real needs are. We're just trying to tell them they need mobile marketing. If I go to a business and I say, hey, you know, and I'm talking to them and I'm trying to identify their problem, and they're like, well, I need more customers. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Well, let's get more specific. Has your customer base been going up? Has it been going down? Well, the last 2 years it's been down. Well, what do you attribute that to? Well, you know, people or the economy's changed, or people, you know, all the people now are on the internet, and in my business, I just don't have time for the internet. Boom. Okay. Well, what if I could show you a way where there's some done-for-you stuff that can not just get you on the internet, but get you into mobile marketing, which would put you ahead of your competition. Okay, because the reality is that small businesses are 5 to 10 years behind. So they're just learning social media right now, I could get you well ahead of your competition. You're solving their problem now. You're not going in there and just throwing mobile marketing at them. Okay? On the BizOp side, you've got to find out what's been missing for them in the BizOp world, and you have to fit Remarkable Mobile into that. You know, and you have to decide which market you're going after. Here's what I will tell you, okay? And I'm, guys, let me, and Paul, I'm going to ask you to type this in. Here's what I want to ask of you guys. I want to ask your guys' permission to shoot straight with you, okay, to maybe call out some stinking thinking, so to speak, okay? And I want your permission to do it even though we're in kind of a public environment. I mean, this is a small, intimate group. We're going to be around each other for 4 or 5 weeks. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If I don't have your permission, it's okay. It's okay to say no. In other words, you don't have to go around and say yes. If that makes you uncomfortable, that I may say, hey, listen, this is where your head's at, you know, you got to fix this, okay? You know, if that makes you uncomfortable for me to do that in front of other people, we can save it for our coaching calls, okay? So you can say no. But my question is for permission, okay, so that I know what I can say as we talk, you know, in front of the group. So, Dorico, we'll start with you. Paul, let me know if I have your permission. You can type it in the box.
Yes, you got my permission.
Okay. You won't, but if I drag you out on the carpet a little bit in front of the bunch,
Hey,
you'll be okay?
I got a strong chin.
Excellent. Michael.
Yeah, you go for it.
Awesome. Gurjeet says she's good. Kevin, you said you're good. Paul, I'll wait for you in the chat. You have it completely. Okay, so Paul, the reason I asked for permission is because I'm gonna call you out for a minute here. And how I'm gonna call you out is I'm gonna say that when you say I'm finding people are afraid to try something new as far as the mobile market, when you're telling yourself that story is going to be running in your head every time you market, every time you get out there, every time you talk to somebody, okay? And so much of what I talked about in creating your message is the message beneath the message, right? Words can't change how we're really feeling inside. You know, in the Influence webinar, if you haven't watched that yet, watch it. You know, I talked about how your energy, your vibration, where you're at from a confidence standpoint, where you're at in the pecking order, what your fundamental beliefs are, not just what you're telling yourself to believe, but what you really believe at your core is going to shine through in all your messaging. So if you believe that people are not open or they're afraid to try something new as far as mobile marketing, okay, then that's going to, you can't remove that energy every time you're trying to share mobile marketing with somebody. Okay, there's somewhere deep that's going to be playing in your head, and it's going to shine through. You have to believe that there's a target audience out there for mobile marketing, and there is, right? I mean, mobile marketing. Need I say more, right? I mean, we're marketers. People need marketing. Mobile is the direction everybody's going in. So you can say, I'm still finding my target market. I'm still finding the people who are dying to get on the mobile marketing trend. Okay, but you know, watch yourself and be aware of making statements, blanket statements that people are afraid of what you have, because you'll believe that. Okay, I mean, if you're saying it, you do believe it, and there are people out there that are not afraid of mobile marketing. They're looking for it. There's people out there looking for every relevant product or service out there. Jonathan, now I know you're watching too, but feel free to type any questions into the chat box. Michael.
Yep.
Guys, I'm going to come around. Feel free to ask questions, and guys, they don't have to be relevant specifically to Module 1. If you don't have a question about Module 1 and you just have a general marketing question, go ahead, shoot. If you got a question about what I do, if you got a question about me, I'm an open book. You go ahead and shoot. Anybody.
I just have I have a question here. As far as like the product covers and stuff, you mentioned eCover Marketer and Fiverr.
My eCover Maker, yeah.
Yeah. Which one do you prefer? Like, obviously Fiverr, you're just marketing it out for someone to do it. So as far as time-wise it goes, it makes more sense to do it that way. But I looked at eCover Marketer there, and which one's better? Like, would you go with?
It's just for you.
Yeah.
See, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of doing too much stuff myself. Okay, you know, I always want things looking the way I want them looking. I feel like I have a pretty decent eye for everything, you know, and sometimes I find myself, you know, I haven't found all the right people yet to work with. I found a good web lady. I found a good guy that does my sales pages. You know, I found some good people, but I haven't found all those pieces yet. And if I'm working with the person that's not right, sometimes I find myself spending more time communicating and trying to get them to see what I want, okay, then it would take me to just do it. So there's pros and cons to that. I mean, if I'm just doing it, then I'm not going to find the right person, right? If I'm not going out there and finding the right people. So, you know, my recommendation would be that you know, you probably always want to find people to do these things. These are not high leverage activities. They're not money-making activities. Yeah. When you guys do find a good service or a good person to work with or any of that different stuff, stick with that person. You know what I mean? Give them more work. You know, build a relationship with them. You know, get in a place where they'll get you out of a jam and they'll do something fast for you. Treat them well. Throw them a little bonus. You know what I mean? Like, because that's a really valuable relationship to have.
I have a question.
Yep, go for it.
All right, this kind of switches up speed here to some Facebook marketing.
Okay.
So just want to make one thing, some changes that I've made, but it's a question that I have. So I'm getting a lot of engagement back from people that, you know, conversations and things that I'm striking up. So, you know, I kind of got a core set of questions that I ask them. Is there anything like, as far as questions that we should be asking, like, in all of our Facebook conversations? Like, you know, I ask, like, you know, how's marketing going? You know, how's that going for you? You know, typical things like that. Is there anything else that I need to be adding to that?
Sure. Great question. So here's the deal. I'm going to be sending out that social influence checklist that you guys all get. You know, I totally wanted to have it done by today, well, by yesterday, but it's turning into like a small ebook. Okay. I'm just getting carried away with it. I think it's like 7 pages deep already. I'm putting charts in there. I'm putting printable printable stuff in there that you guys can print out and use. So here's the deal. You know, is there a canned question or not? It depends on what you're selling. You know, I mean, obviously in our world, it's how are your leads going? You know, are you learning marketing? You know, what do you know, are you using the internet? Do you believe that the internet's going to be an important role? Okay, in Gurjeet's world, it's going to be a completely different set of questions if she's having that kind of conversation. You know, I think that the real goal here is a couple of things. A, to be a real person.
Yep.
Okay, we're building our network when we're having these conversations on social media. We have to truly come from a place where we're solving problems. If I know so many people that are skilled people, okay, at talking to people, they're go-getters. They're like that type A, you know, that red, that alpha, you know. And they go out there and they're like, I'm going to start 50 conversations a day, and they go, right? And they're seeing those people just as numbers, right? They're seeing those people just as I'm going to connect with 50 people a day. And, you know, they're using scripts and they're like really trying to hammer it. And it doesn't work. And it doesn't matter what your script is. See, if you see them as numbers, it's going to come through. Okay? It's going to come through in the conversation. So the first thing I'll tell you is A, to see them as people and treat them like people. And they have a legitimate, genuine problem. And everybody's problem is going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there one single question that's gonna pull the curtain back on everybody's problem? No.
Okay.
You know, one recommendation I will make is always ask one more question. Okay, and what I mean by that is, you know, you'll say like, hey, you know, I don't know, this, I love this one. This I got from Ray, right? You know, this is just a prospecting thing. This is a conversation, a phone thing. But if somebody says, if you say, hey, listen, just throwing this out there, I'm not sure, but you know, you say you don't really care for your job. You know, I've got this side project going. You might be able to make a little extra money. You know, would you be open to taking a look at what I got going on if it you know didn't pull you away from your family, your job, etc. And they may go, yeah, I'm totally open. And we all go, cool. Here's the link, right?
Yeah.
And here's what I hope for. You may go, okay, that's awesome. I'd love to share some information. Just curious, why are you open? Okay, now you're going to get the real problem, right? Now you're going to get the my kid wants to go to, you know, I need to put my kid into you know, private school. Now you're going to get the my house is, you know, behind on my mortgage. Now you're going to get now you're going to get the problem. Okay, so, you know, and I know Gurjeet, like, she's in a completely different niche, but that still applies.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, if somebody's looking for information on how to, you know, on how to have a healthy pregnancy and avoid C-section and, you know, have a joyous birth, right? You know, they may say, well, I reached out to you because I really want to learn about what I need to do to avoid a C-section. And Gurjeet could go, cool, here's my website, or here's the info, or you can sign up here, right? Or she can say, why is that important to you? Now the person tells you what their real reasons are.
Yep.
Okay? And so when we're doing this, when you're getting into this stuff, you know, always, like, I just try and tell people that just get in the habit of asking one more question. Like, if you're ready to drop the link or make the pitch, or because the biggest question we'll get from people when it comes to networking on Facebook is, when do I tell them about my thing? You know, when do I sell them the opportunity, right? When do I pitch them on the sale? And it's like they're looking so hard for that opportunity that at least I can say, if you just ask one more question, when you think it's time, just ask one more. At least I'm helping them protect them from themselves a little bit, right? And their want to just dive in. So Paul asked, question, what's your opinion on using Pinterest? Been thinking of using it more. You know, oh, and Jonathan's got a question too. I'll answer that as well. You know, Paul, Pinterest isn't something that I really use, but it can be very effective depending on what you want to accomplish. In the mobile marketing niche, the biz op niche, is it going to be effective? I don't know. You know, here's what you need to understand about Pinterest. It's very visual because it's all image oriented, and it's majority female, right? So being that it's majority female, you know, and it's very visual, lots of like design and home stuff and fashion stuff will do really great over there, right? People love to pin all the different stuff they like. Travel. Okay, travel could probably do okay on Pinterest because it's very visual, very image-oriented. You know, real estate, people go in there, look for their dream homes, right? But you know, I'm not sure that that's the best place to go for mobile marketing. You could prove me wrong. I don't know. I'm speaking only based on what I know about it, and I know very little. I just know that it's image-based, and the majority of the users, the bulk of the users are female. So based on that, you know, I can jump to some quick educated conclusions that, you know, that some things will work better on the other. But okay, I could be, Chris, I had to mute you out, buddy. But I could be wrong. I haven't really experimented with it enough. Jonathan says, I have a question about business cards. Like, what should be on them that's most effective, and should I have my company info and website on there? Or, okay, here's the thing, Jonathan, you know, kind of the running joke amongst, you know, people that have been in network marketing for a while is, I gotta wait to get my business cards, right? I can't go out there until I get my business cards. Listen, it's great to have business cards. If you're branding, I personally like to brand me. Okay, if I'm going to have a business card, it's going to send somebody to something that's mine. Anything that's replicated, okay, it just makes you a dime a dozen. My opinion, I'm sure there are people out there that are using company business cards effectively that have some little system going, okay, but every time I go to the local deli, I see a corkboard full of network marketing business cards as if somebody's going to grab it because they want to save money on their, on their electricity, or they want to go drink the super juice. You know, Jonathan, your focus needs to be gathering information, gathering contact information. Okay, now here's something interesting. I don't have business cards, and I actually have some now for my social media side project. But here's what I used to say to people, you know, and they'd go, "Oh, that sounds interesting. Do you have a card?" And I'd say, "No, I don't carry them." Just like that, with confidence. No, I don't carry business cards. I have a personal rule. I don't carry business cards. If I said, "I'm sorry, I don't carry business cards," what do you think their response to that's going to be? Who knows what their question is going to be?
Why?
Exactly. Why? Okay. And when somebody says that, I say, well, because I can hand out 1,000 business cards, okay, and only have 1 or 2 people call me. The way I see it is if people are really interested in the thing that we talked about, they'll give me their contact information, and then I know I can follow up with them 100% of the time. So are you really interested in what we talked about? If you are, I'd be glad to grab your information. Anybody find that helpful?
Yeah.
That's just like a set them up to knock them down thing, right? No, I don't carry. I don't carry business cards. So they're going to say why every single time. Other questions, guys? Jonathan, did you find that helpful, bud? Just know if you simply hand someone a business card, they're very likely not going to reach out to you. I'm like the only person on the face of the earth that ever signed up in network marketing because somebody handed me a business card. I think I'm the guy. I was the perfect prospect. Other questions, guys? I'm going to have to be more clear. Next time I send the email out, I'll let you guys know this is a question and answer session. You've got to have marketing questions. I know you do. You can't all be where you want to be, or you can't all have all the answers. I know.
I have a question, Justice.
Questions, you know. Yeah, go for it, Chris.
Now, because I'm marketing MLSP and I'm also marketing my health and wellness company, should I keep them separately because the target market for each are different, or is it okay to integrate the two together on the one website? Because I want to brand myself as a marketing coach, / consultant, but I also want to build my health and wellness business at the same time, right? Using the marketing strategies that we've learned within MLSP and stuff. And I know you can market your primary company within the inside of MLSP, so I know that part. But as far as my main website, my main blog that markets me as branding myself, right? What would you suggest would be the right way to go?
So here's the deal. It depends on how you want to be seen in the marketplace, right? And if you want to market yourself as training, coaching, marketing, all that different stuff, then then you're going to lead with MLSP and you're going to back end your network marketing business. Okay. Now, what you can do is once you have that loyal audience, you can work some relevant stuff in. Okay, like in other words, you can do great content or great lifestyle videos or great anything that works in your product a little bit without being picky. Works in what you do without being picky. Okay? But what you can't be the marketing trainer. You can't have a whole section on your website that's all about marketing and training, one section that's all about coaching, and then another section that's all about, household products and all that, right? That doesn't, but when you have an audience, okay, every once in a while you can feather in content that's why you chose your company, that's why you love your company, that's why, there's nothing wrong, you don't have to hide your company.
No.
Okay, and you can bring because you have people around you knowing you're a network marketer. There's nothing wrong with letting them know what you do.
Yeah, because I have another website for that, right? So I have a separate website for it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that if it's a company website, that when you drive people to a company website, it's mostly going to be after you talk.
Yeah, no.
It's very rarely going to be a traffic kind of thing. I've seen very few company websites that are capable of really being strong when it comes to converting anything if you're sending just traffic over there.
Yeah, they got a new one that actually will collect leads and help them to share my content, social media, and anything that I'm hooked into. So it's a bit of a capture page, but it has info and content.
The company or your team?
The health and wellness company. They have some websites for us, right?
So here's what I'll tell you. And again, I don't know. I haven't looked at them. This is just based on what I've seen.
Yep.
Okay. If the company website, was great for getting, there could be some people that were crushing it with that company website. And a lot of times, personally, the best funnels that have worked for me when it comes to a company are funnels that I've set up myself. But
thank you.
But you'll be able to test and track that. I mean, Okay, let me. Then I'm gonna, Chris, unmute yourself if you have any more questions. But I'm gonna move you out. So branding yourself is very important. You need to work on that. What is the best way to start? Well, Paul, I'd encourage you to revisit, if you haven't gone through the first 8 videos yet, go through them, because I talk about that a lot. I talk about how to identify your target market. You got to decide who you're going to go after, right? Are you going to go after the businesses, or are you going to go after the biz op person? If you're going after the businesses, you're their marketing consultant. If you're going after the biz op person, you might be a coach, trainer, etc. Okay, you're going to have to figure out how you want to position yourself in the marketplace. That's the best way to start, and then you start to really, it's going to, put it this way, it'll come along over time. You're not going to have all the answers right up front, but know what you stand for, know who you're going after, know whose problem you're solving, and then become the go-to person for it. Okay, Gurjeet says, how can you justify your high price when people say they just don't have money? Gurjeet, it's very rarely really about the money. Okay, we haven't dug deep enough into their problem. We don't have trust yet. They feel more transaction than they do benefit. Okay, they're feeling the transaction. I went to my mentor one time and I said, I'm getting the money objection a lot. And he said, yeah, I never get the money objection. Never ever get it. I said, well, what do I do? And he said, well, he goes, you're still seeking a transaction. He said, if you put a vibration out that you're seeking a transaction, people will always give you the money objection. He said, you're Justice effing Egan. They want you to speak from stage everywhere. The vibration should be, why should I sponsor or recruit you? Why are you right to work with me? See, so Gurjeet, when you see what you have as something that's so beneficial to that person, and the vibration changes as to where it's, why should I be involved in the birth of your child? Okay, tell me why you're the right person. Tell me when you believe so much in what you're doing and you put that vibration out there, there is no price tag on that, right? You're the go-to person, and we're going to help put your marketing in place where people will at least, you'll at least have a level of authority and influence getting in the door, and then when you can communicate with them the right way and build that trust, I can't imagine anybody who's looking to have a healthy pregnancy and birth experience that already wants, alternative, natural coaching guidance. If there's any group of people that will probably make price no object, it should be people who are bringing their first child into the world. They should be the first people, right, to go, you know what, I'll spend a little extra. It's not like we're buying a car. Okay, they're not buying. They're bringing it. They're not getting a health and wellness MLM going for $400. They're bringing a child into the world, right? So we just need to get the messaging and make sure that that conversation's going the right way, because if you ask the right questions and you find out all the things that are important to them, and they say, well, I heard that if you have a C-section, this can happen to your child. I heard that can happen. I heard this can happen. And then if you get down to that real problem, and then they go, oh, but $300, $500, that's expensive. Really? More expensive than having what you think might happen to your child happen to your child? Just curious. Would it be worth $500 to avoid that? Would it be worth $1,000? Would it be worth $2,000, $5,000? The answer is always going to be yes if you get down to what their fears are, why they're looking for your services. Does that help? Does that make sense?
So are you suggesting, Justice, that we ask them those questions? Like, is this money more important than your life? Is it more important than your baby?
No. What I'm suggesting is that you fit that. You can ask that once it's in the place of rapport. Okay. So in other words, when you have uncovered all the deep reasons why somebody's interested in your service, they're real problems, right? They're real fears, the real reasons. Not just because they want a painful birth or a pain-free birth, not just because they don't want to have a C-section. Ask the next question, why? Well, I don't want to have a C-section because I think this. I don't want pain because I'm afraid of this. Okay, and when all that stuff comes out, okay, now you can have that conversation. Okay, because listen, if they're not going to buy, they're not going to buy. And here is something that you guys can do that can create really solid rapport, really solid openings. Okay, is ask permission. I asked all you guys permission if I could call you out if I had to in front of the group, right? So Gurjeet, you could say, okay, being that you're consulting me on something as important as the birth of your child, do I have permission to speak candidly with you? Okay, can I share openly with you, even if maybe what I say isn't what you want to hear? And their answer is going to be yes. Okay, and so you're getting permission to, when you create that rapport, you're getting permission down the road, to speak to them and give them that hey, this or this, right? If you ask all the right questions and you uncover the problems and you have that rapport, Mark Hoverson says anything can happen in the presence of rapport. You can say anything in the presence of rapport, right? If they're not comfortable with you speaking to them clearly as the professional in an environment where they're dealing with something as serious as the birth of their child, then the rapport has not been built. Okay, then you're someone selling a service and there's someone seeking, like doing research. That's it, right? You're not in that place where it's like, I'm the one that can help you have a healthy pregnancy. Okay, they don't see you that way. You don't see yourself. You're not positioned that way. Okay, when you get there and when you build that rapport and when they're open enough to give you their real problems, you can talk on that level with them, right? Is that helpful?
Yes. So I get that building a rapport is the important part.
Yeah, absolutely. In all sales.
Trust and rapport.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with something as intimate and as important as that experience. So not only do I look at it and say nobody's going to skimp money if they really believe it's important and there's real value there. Anybody will go the extra mile, right? It's never going to be the money. They'll go the extra mile. Okay, but at the same time, there's got to be a super high level of trust and rapport because it's something so important, right? I mean, it's something that's special. So, that's. I hope you find that helpful. Okay, because I have business cards, seen so many replicated ones, and just wanted to get your opinion on that because people ask, but you definitely make a good point by saying, don't carry them. Yes, don't know if my replies are delaying, but very helpful. Awesome. Justify high price. Okay, thank you. All right, guys, we're going to do about, I'll go another 10, maybe 15. I obviously don't want to drag your night out, but if you have pressing questions, now would be the time. And feel free, guys, in the chat as well. If you have other questions, now would be the time. Excuse me for just a second. I can hear you guys, so feel free to ask a question. All right. Well.
Okay. I have a question there, Justice.
Okay.
For blogging, like right now I'm doing blogging and Facebooking. How many times, like for having content come out, like would you say doing it right now every day to build your audience, or drop it down to like about 3 times a week?
As much, there's never too much content or value to put out in the marketplace.
Okay.
There is no too much. Okay, unless you're sacrificing quality or you're plagiarizing or you're writing garbage stuff just for the sake of cranking it out. Okay, if it isn't genuine, if it's not helpful, if the message beneath the message, right? The intention. You know, are you doing it just to get leads, or are you doing it to serve the marketplace?
Right.
If you become a content, whatchamacallit, I forget what the production line kind of thing, and you're just putting this stuff out because you want leads, it's going to reflect in the content.
Right.
But the more the merrier. If you can create a blog post every day, by all means.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
So kind of piggybacking on what he just said. So with this blog content, I know a lot of such as yourself and Ray Higdon, they actually blog about things that they're doing in their business. So somebody such as myself or somebody new coming in, how do you actually blog about something if you're not implementing that in your business? How are you going to blog on how to close somebody or something like that? Do you typically just stay away from that, even though you may know the concept?
Share the concept. The concept can help someone. Okay. Here's the thing. You guys can all come up with 3, 4, 5 pieces of content just off of tonight's Q&A webinar. Okay, and what you need to do, here's what you have to understand. Everybody wants to teach up, right? They don't want to create the piece of content until it's like, well, Justice already talks about that, or Ray already talks about that, or Adam already talks about that, or Mark Harbert already talks about that, and so that you want to create content that impresses, that could teach someone a marketer, right? Or you want to create content that hasn't been done yet. When in reality, you need to teach you yesterday, right? You come on this Q&A webinar, you know new stuff. You go through Audience Builder's Blueprint, you know new stuff. And there's a guy that's in Dorico's shoes where you were yesterday, the day before, 3 days before, a week before, a month before, that doesn't know what you now know. Don't you think it would be beneficial if you shared?
Yeah, very beneficial.
Don't you wish that somebody had taken action and shared with you a month ago instead of a week ago?
Good point.
Right? I mean, aren't you doing them a service? So,
yes.
Yes, Jonathan, you'll have access to the recording of this. Kevin, it looks like he's got a question. Do you bother flipping people, say, on IG when they are spamming your content? I don't know what you mean by flipping people.
Hey, Justice?
Yeah.
Would you say it's better to write your own autoresponder follow-up messages, or you think it's okay just to go with the generic ones that you get with a company, right?
Here's the thing. At the beginning, it's most important that you're out there getting traffic.
Yes.
Okay, without traffic, you got nothing.
That's true, yeah.
So you don't need to build, like people used to say to me, hey, I've got to make this perfect video about my primary company for Inside MLSP, right? And I go, yeah. Really? How many people have you put into MLSP? Well, nobody. Okay, nobody's seen the video, right? So are you going to go out there and write autoresponders when you're not putting people onto your list? Doesn't make sense, right?
That's
so
true.
Plug the company autoresponders in, but then here's the thing. Once you have people coming on your list, now you're going to want to go write your own voice in a little bit, okay?
Broadcast your list with your own, once you have a list.
Now, one thing you have to understand about autoresponders is when you do these long autoresponder series, if you're going to send content out every day, that doesn't really match up. So, you know, the longer your autoresponder series, the more I feel like that's for an affiliate marketer, someone who's looking to drive a lot of traffic and make a lot of automated sales, right? You want to build relationships. If you want to deliver a lot of value through content, probably want to shorten up your autoresponder series a little bit. Make sure that you're really in there, that it's very valuable, that it lets people know what to expect, that you build that trust, that equity in that relationship.
Very good tip. Thank you.
No problem. Flipping people when they're spamming your content into MLSP. You know, Kev, I'm not really sure how to answer that. I mean, I have conversations. If people are spamming my stuff, and you know, I don't have like some magic script that's like, oh, you know, you're doing it wrong. You could get help with this. You know, I have conversations. You know. Someone spams me, I say, you know, and I feel if I'm like having it, if I'm in a place where I'm setting time aside to chat, someone spams me, I might say, hey, just curious, is this actually working for you? You know, and then start a conversation and go from there. But if they're obnoxious, if they're if they're closed-minded, if they're I don't waste time on people. I had someone the other day, he was tagging me in pictures. I told him not to. He said bye, like I was losing, right? I mean, I don't spend time, I'm not going to be like, I can't believe you said bye. You need my help. Dude, what are you doing for leads? Just peace. All right, guys. Well, we are at 10:15. Did you guys find tonight helpful?
Yes. Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, got 3 pages, 3 or 4.
Okay, so here's what we got to do, guys. First of all, I'm going to be shutting down for the night here. So, but if you send me messages, I'll be able to respond to them in the morning. Got to set coaching calls up. They're not everlasting. In other words, after this thing's done, we're not all going to be doing 4 coaching calls. Okay, it doesn't work like that. We're supposed to be doing these as we go. We get a week behind, that's okay. Okay, get 4 weeks behind, and then. And then come January, why don't you call me up and go, oh, I just went through the modules. Can I do those 4 coaching calls? The goal of a workshop like this is to keep you guys in motion. Okay, let this workshop hold you accountable to this process. Mm-hmm. So, revisit Module 1 for the time being. When the influence checklist comes out, go through that. Go through the influence code webinar again. And Module 2 will be opened up on Monday. Okay? Now we're gonna do instead of Thursday the 25th? Yeah. Instead of that Thursday, we're gonna do that Wednesday at 8. I put that in the email because a lot of people will be traveling for Live the Dream. Okay. So we're gonna do Wednesday at 8 p.m. Guys, you should all be filled with marketing questions. Okay, this is an opportunity for you to pick my brain. So as you go through the week, you got a question, write it down. Because your questions are going to help everybody. Okay, you're going to learn as much from the next person's question as you do from your own. So let's set up some calls. Don't hesitate to go through the information a second time. Okay, there's fundamental core marketing gold in there, okay? And keep an eye out on Monday for my emails. Keep an eye out for the checklist, and we'll take things from there. All right, guys.
Awesome.
All right.
Have a great night.
Bye, Justin.
Have a great night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.